Brigitte Bardot just proved that glamour ain't temporary, it's eternal, and her presence decades later still manages to ignite fascination, conversation, and admiration across generations. Because she wasn't just a star of her time, she was the definition of timeless allure. And when people revisit her iconic photos, whether from the beaches of the French Riviera or the sets of her unforgettable films, they're reminded that Bardot wasn't simply posing for the camera. She was creating a cultural shift, embodying freedom, rebellion, and individuality in ways that went far beyond style or beauty. And what makes it extraordinary is how natural she always seemed. No manufactured image, no need for filters or heavy retouching, just raw charisma radiating through every frame. A woman who embraced her imperfections and turned them into part of her charm, which is why her photos, once labeled controversial or scandalous, are now viewed as timeless works of art, capturing a woman ahead of her time, bold enough to defy expectations in the 1950s and 1960s, when society often tried to put women into boxes. Yet Bardot broke those molds with ease, and the fascination today is not just nostalgia, but recognition of her authenticity. Because when younger generations stumble upon her old photos online, their reaction is the same as those who lived through her rise: amazement at a woman who was unapologetically herself, whose aura could light up an entire culture. And while many stars of her era faded, her energy has only grown more iconic. Because her beauty was more than surface level, it was tied to her spirit, her confidence, her refusal to play by outdated rules. And that's why Brigitte Bardot continues to captivate, because she represents not just a face of cinema, but a living declaration of individuality, a reminder that glamour isn't about following trends, but about creating them. And she created them with every photo, every role, every daring choice, influencing not only fashion, but the way women viewed themselves. And what makes her story more powerful, the way critics of her time tried to diminish her, debating whether she was too daring, too free-spirited, or too rebellious. Yet those very criticisms became the foundation of her legacy, because she proved that daring was necessary to spark change. And when people say Bardot shows it all, it's not simply about revealing skin, it's about revealing truth, stripping away the illusion of perfection and embracing the raw beauty of being human. And that's why her photos endure, because they aren't frozen in the past. They speak to the present, inspiring confidence, reminding us that the essence of beauty is authenticity, and the aura of a fearless woman never goes out of style. And what's striking is how even in today's world of curated social media feeds and endless filters, her decades-old photos still feel more alive, more daring, and more genuine than most images that flood timelines daily. And this contrast is part of why she remains relevant, because she set a standard that technology can't manufacture, a magnetism that only comes from within. And Bardot had it in abundance, and as time passes, her legend grows not smaller, but larger, because she represents something everyone craves: the courage to live boldly, to live authentically, and to shine without apology. And that's why her influence extends far beyond cinema, far beyond fashion, into the very idea of what it means to be iconic. Because she didn't just inspire her contemporaries, she continues to inspire those who never even witnessed her stardom firsthand.